Hello, and welcome to another episode of Making Money Work for Regular People, where we discuss topics on the topic of, making money work for regular people. One way, as I always like to mention, one of the most important ways for most regular people to make their money is through their job and career choices. And so today, I intend to discuss the topic of: Are you staying at your job too long, and whether or not job loyalty is a bad thing for um, most people who are employees. And so I'm gonna just go ahead and dive right into it. I don't intend to take very long. I know I've said that before, but I'm really going to try to keep these topics within 15 to 20 minutes, or even within 10 to 15 minutes. That's my target. A lot of times, especially those of us who um, come from ethnic families, come from different ethnic backgrounds, who are black and brown. Um, a lot of us have parents who and grandparents who encourage us to, be loyal to our jobs and to hang on to a job and keep a job for a really long time. Be loyal to the company and things of that nature. However, can this line of thought actually end up hurting you in the long run and have unintended consequences? And so, I did watch a video, not too long ago, today or this morning, I should say, because it's 3 o'clock in the morning, by a content creator named A Life After Layoff. And I'm going to leave the link to this video on, it's entitled How to Move Up in Your Career and Why a Steady Job is Bad for Your Career. And when I was looking at this video, I thought a lot about myself. And, it made me realize that, due to my career decisions and due to my choosing to stay at jobs for a pretty long time on a consistent basis, I fell into that rabbit hole of being extra average as a um, as a job candidate, and so, and I'm explaining that in a minute. But the whole idea of staying at a job because you're comfortable, um, you know, you're comfortable with your job, you enjoy what you're doing, everybody there. There's not a whole lot of change to um, really rock your boat or anything like that. However, by settling for the average raises, which are anywhere between 1 to 3% on average. I mean, that's pretty much how it's worked at every company I've been. You know, Potentially you're leaving a lot of money on the table, and also if you're the kind of person who's ambitious about moving up, you're also leaving a lot of your career development on the table too. Because if you're not progressing, if you're not, getting promotions, if you're not getting, to work on projects and things of that nature, and I'm guilty of all this. What I'm saying, not so much not being willing to work, but more so not appearing to be assertive. I'm guilty of that, and what happens is, as a job candidate, it leaves you looking as if you're not very assertive and that you're very complacent and that you're just making these small little steps up and up for your company band raises or step progressions or whatever. And as a result, as a candidate, you look like you're not making a whole lot of progression in your career. Whereas you might have another person at your same job who steps into the role, identifies a position above that's available or that could become available, and making a small progression to that role, um, maybe a team lead role or something of that nature. And so this video obviously inspired me a lot to make this video, the video that I just told you about. Please watch that video, because it'll give you a really good understanding as to why a steady job could be bad for your career. For one, let's say you do get a small promotion, and then you do get some relevant projects to be a part of and things of that nature. And a career opportunity presents itself at another company, and it's paying you anywhere from 20 to 30% more than what you're currently making. Well, gee, by staying at your current company, you won't even be able to match that offer within 20 years of getting steady pay raises. Not only that, that's if they don't lay you off. And I've come on this channel complaining about constant layoffs and things of that nature throughout my young adulthood. But in reality, I didn't even know how to develop or create a career. In fact, when I first got out of college, I didn't even know what I wanted to do. Excuse me. So, this was a very enlightening video that I think every young person and every person who's also kind of like feels like who's stuck, that they're stuck in a rut, in the middle of their career, they need to watch this video. And I'm gonna leave the link in the description for you to check out for yourself. But the advice that many of our parents, have urged upon us and that they've given us as far as how to approach their career, only works in a handful of occupations these days. For instance, in jobs where seniority and hierarchy really matter, especially those union jobs. Yeah, that old advice may still have a little bit of relevance, But if you're talking about the corporate world and the corporate America where, pretty much dog eats dog, then you have to keep yourself as a candidate, um, you know, as a current candidate rather, you need to keep yourself very relevant and very updated and up to date because, what happens is you stay on that job for 5 years and get laid off, and then next thing you know, you're going up a bunch of other candidates who have taken, the advantage of the opportunities that were afforded to them, and they're already, you know, this far above you, and I just never realized that this was a thing until now. And of course, it makes a whole lot of sense, considering a lot of other people who've been hired off the street in my previous companies or whatnot. And, I'm just wondering, like, how and why? How and why? And what happens is you stay in a role too long, you tend to get complacent a little bit because you're comfortable. And you find yourself behind the eight ball, kind of like, I've been doing, in my current job search right now. Okay. I mean, eventually this time will pass. I'll find something to get me back on the grind, and then I'll be back to the kind of lifestyle that I'm accustomed to living probably within, a year. Just being realistic. Um, but yeah, this is something that you want to think about, that you kind of want to meditate on, and I'm gonna say this: the takeaway that I've taken away from the video, besides the idea that having a steady job for years and years, on at one company might be a bad idea. Besides that idea, um, is that when you start your job out of college, you need to have an idea as to what kind of career path you're going to take on this job and how you're going to present yourself to make yourself look good at the company, become a known employee at the company, and basically build your reputation as an up and coming person who's on the fast track to the top. And then when the right opportunity comes along, plan for your exit, if you're getting the right kind of offer. Now, don't just exit just to be for the sake of exiting or for the sake of quitting or for the sake of no longer liking this job anymore. It has to make sense. It has to be a progression, I believe. And if you can get that, if you can articulate, the direction that you want your career to go into, and be able to communicate that to the interviewer, hopefully it turns into an offer that you cannot refuse at a great company, with a salary increase that's just, around 20, 30%, even 10%. Because staying at your current company, it might take you 10 years to get to that same number. Okay, so, things that you want to consider, because, and it's relevant to, a topic that will come up on this channel, because, for most of us, our job is the best way for us to earn, money and earn the majority of our money. And so if we're going to, if we're going to have discussions about 401ks and maxing out your 401ks and saving 10 to 15% or even 20% of your money to your emergency fund after you pay off your credit card debt, then you need to make as much money as possible. And more importantly, you need to give yourself an opportunity to make as much money as possible. And so I think this is where I'm going to conclude it. Like I said, I really want you to check out this video, as it'll give you a different way to think about how to approach your career from job to job to job to job to job. Okay, so my name is Glenn. I'm your gracious host. I thank all my friends for stopping by to watch this video. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time. Holler.